right? But it was Warren. And so he researched, Warren wanted to know why there was racial profiling, and beyond, we have racist cops. So they did that research beginning in 1986 and just continued it on and on and on. And I think Jay's still doing that work. So they were interested in solving the problem. They didn't just say there was an issue. They didn't just say, well, oh, well, you know, there's nothing we can do. They sent students on ride-alongs with police officers. They sent, well, Jay was there. There were other folks who took ride-alongs with the police agencies in and around Warren. That's how they helped solve their issues. They still have issues, but they were doing something about it. One of the very few police agencies that I know of that actually used what I call disciplined inquiry or research to solve those issues. That's what I was doing when I was in Boston. That's what some of my research eventually led to in Boston and some other places. So I was about bringing information and data to the table, not just making stuff up. So I'll share that with you. Also, something that's a little bit closer to home, but something that we might deal with on a regular basis. So how does racism damage a business? And you know, there's lots of literature out there on that. But a guy named Shep Hyken, Hyken, in Forbes magazine about 2 years ago, printed an article entitled, "There is no place for racism in customer service." And his basic contention is that if you're racist and you have a business and you're not letting someone of color come to your business, you're losing money. And there are a lot of businesses who realize that. And there are a lot of organizations that are, I'll say, of color or enlightened in some way that don't do business with organizations or businesses that are racist. Bottom line, business goes out of business, you're out. This is where the lovely spouse comes in. So when we lived in Boston, we were actually in Brookline, I think, right? This was Brookline, Massachusetts. So I went to rent a video from a video store, and they sort of put me through all sorts of garbage. I just want to rent a video. So I was, okay. So I ended up renting the video, and they you know, took it back to them. My wife went there, never been in this store. They saw her and said, oh, don't, you know, what did they say, dear?
Well, give him the detail. When he went in, they wanted to charge him a $75 deposit. They wanted his ID. He told them the street he lived on. They said, no, you don't live there. They gave him a really hard time. So then I went back to rent the video, didn't ask for my ID, didn't care where I lived, no deposit required, just gave me the video. So we wrote it all up and filed a civil rights complaint.
And won the complaint.
Yep.
So, you know, knowing we were about maybe, I don't know, dear, I was about 35 years old. You were much younger than that at the time, right? So I will not put that information out there. But, I mean, so we went through the process, won the complaint, and these people, they were so arrogant, they actually thought they were going to win that complaint. And their lawyer actually said, you guys have to shut up. I mean, that's literally what the guy said. You are digging a hole and you don't even know you're in a hole, right? And so, I mean, this kind of stuff happens, and we're sort of experimental, a walking experiment in racist behavior or non-racist behavior. So that I mean, as an example, bad for business. Those guys went out of business, I think, about a year later. So, and you know, you behave yourselves like that. That's not good. So, I mean, another example. So I'm now president of Muskegon Community College, and I've been in positions of leadership where I've managed budgets of up to $400 million since 1986. So I didn't just, you know, appear as I mean, people, a lot of my president friends, they'll say, man, people, they just think you just roll out of bed and you became president one day. No, that's not how it works. I mean, no, people don't wake up wanting to be president of an institution. I don't know anyone who grew up that way, but that's where I ended up. I had issues I wanted to resolve, so I did the things I needed to do to get there. So businesses that are overtly racist, either directly to me or to my staff, don't do business with my college. That period. There are businesses that have lost contracts with us because of their behavior, in some cases toward me, in some cases toward others. One case toward me, I'll simply say we had a major event thousands of dollars contractually obligated to, I'll say, present at this institution, and had what I will describe as a racist run-in, as defined by the owner of the business who was trying to run off the racists in his business. He was doing it, but couldn't do it to everybody. So I said, well, here's how it's gonna go. Next year, we are not going to come back to your institution. You're gonna lose, 10,000 whatever dollars that you could have gotten. I understand you're not the guy, but people who work for you are the guy. My faculty, staff, and students, 100 of whom were at that event, just watching this idiot, who, not to drill too far down into it, it was problematic enough where we took our business elsewhere, and eventually we took it back when that owner and those staff people were gone. Then I'm good, but racism cost them money, and they didn't understand that until they lost that major contract. That's how that goes. The last example that I'll use is, as a college president, I don't know how many college presidents you know, but we always brag about our institutions. And one of the things I do is, I don't like to just brag about it. I want to have data that backs it up. So you might have seen information about Muskegon Community College and how we rank either locally, also regionally, statewide or nationally with other community colleges, and we do very well. When I came here, we were pretty good. And there were some people on campus who were extraordinarily impressed with our college, but could not give me one bit of data about why we were as good or better than anyone else. They were good just because they said they were good. It's not good enough for me. Now, if you look at the bio, my first job out of, my blood is green and white, Michigan State University. Go white, yes. Yeah. So again, I am that guy. So, I will cause some trouble there. If there are any Wolverines in the house, that's okay. You're good too. But we were, okay, just for full disclosure, we were founded as a junior college of the University of Michigan in 1926. That crushes my soul. I just can't think about that. And I almost wore my Michigan State tie, but I said I can't do that. I'm Muskegon Community College, got my little official seal here. I just can't be that. I can't do that. But so anyway, so we've ranked highly. We've ranked based upon data coming from the U.S. Department of Education, comparing the graduation rates, the transfer rates, the persistence, that's semester to semester retention, and retention itself, year-to-year retention of students. So that's how we compare ourselves. We're not saying we're that good. They're saying we're that good based upon data that's pulled from every college and university in the state of Michigan. So, starting there. When I came on board the board of trustees at the college, this is year 11, so this is 2009, they said that we want to go from any Jim Collins mavens out there, good to great, great by choice, all that good stuff. If you know Jim Collins, he's one of the leading leadership thinkers and backed by data in the nation, and he's been going for years. So they wanted us to move from good to great. So, and I said, what we have to do is we can't compare ourselves to schools in the state of Michigan. We can't compare ourselves to GRCC or someone else. They're fine colleges and whatnot, but in many cases, we already perform better than they do. And they didn't know that. They weren't collecting the data that would even tell them that. So that's where I came in. As a research director guy, assistant budget director of the city of Boston, that kind of thing. I'm a numbers guy. I'm not gonna say anything to them that I can't prove. So over time, we've inched up our graduation rate. Every year we go up 0.5%, 1%, that kind of thing, to get to a point where we're very competitive with the best colleges in the nation. Now, Guy who was doing that work before, he's still on campus and wants people to know that things were better when he was there. So I literally call people out. I guess if you're 64 years old and you have a gray beard like this, you really don't want to put up with it. And I don't want to put up with this. And man, if you're going to say something, please let people know where we were in 2008 in terms of our graduation rates, when you were in charge, not where we are now. So if you're going to say that, I'm going to call you out publicly in front of a television camera, which is where we were. And this guy didn't know what to say. I said, well, know what you're talking about. If you come to me, make sure you have the data, or else you're going to have a problem. So This guy don't know whether racism came and was a part of it. He did never like me. I said, I don't care. You know, we are gonna be a better college as a result of my having come here and moved people into positions who can make a difference at this institution. So that's what we're trying to do. And as a matter of, again, full disclosure for excellent programs on campus, our nursing department, you know, they're always good, right? They, again, NCLEX, if you look up any nurses out there, okay, did you took the NCLEX exam probably when you were passing, okay, sure. So that's the exam that you have to take, whether you're an LPN, RN, BSN, or whatever you're going through, to prove that you're capable of working in a healthcare institution. So that's that. Our scores over time are better than any other college in the state for the BN, not BSN, but the RN exam. That's the baseline nursing exam that you would take to stand for entry into the field. In every college or university, that's 2 or 4 year. And we were there. We didn't even know that. I mean, we have anywhere from 95 to 100% of our student nurses sitting for that exam, passing it. The last 3 times our students sat for that exam, 100% passed. Not 98, not 99, not 100. My Spartans can't say that. Your Wolverines can't say that. So I'm proud of that too. So, you know, so we had some excellent programs on campus, but we weren't sharing that with anyone. And I just thought that doesn't make any sense. And we don't want to put ourselves in a position where people who would look at Muskegon, so I'm a black guy, they look at Muskegon, oh, everybody in Muskegon's black. I said, boy, how ignorant is that? I mean, living all over the country, and I share this with folks, and this is no offense to anyone in this room or anyone in Michigan, but everywhere else in the country, we're just a flyover state. We have to have reasons for people to want to move here. We have to have, and one of those reasons is not us pretending that we're better than other people because of whatever reason. It could be racism, it could be because I think Lake Michigan is the most beautiful spot in the country to live myself, but there are other beautiful spots in the country too. But we have to get past that because no one cares about the difference between us and you know, Kent County or Muskegon County. I mean, we literally opened a $1 million building south of Grand Haven, an investment, ownership, equity investment in Ottawa County that we've never done before for reasons that are beyond me. I mean, 20% of our students come from Ottawa County.